Oh.
That was pretty close.
Was that close enough?
I think that was
okay.
fine. We know
like,
mine is like a half second behind yours when I clap. That's all I gotta remember.
So maybe your PC is like 4 seconds ahead. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, right around there.
You have to figure that out.
All right. Can we just hire somebody to do the intros?
No, I want to see what you do this time.
All right, so not Keemstar. We've already done that twice. Who else can I imitate here?
Robert Bowling.
If you see something you'd like to, what is the Rooster Teeth one?
I don't remember. I can't do that.
Okay.
Just do a honey.
Welcome to this episode of the Looch and Clad's Cheese Factory podcast. I'm Gus.
I'm Gus.
I'm also Gus. All right. So this time we're gonna be talking about that was the worst intro we could have done.
No, that was pretty good.
All right. Brought to you by Honey. Disclaimer: not brought to you by Honey. What if we did have a sponsor though on our total of 20 views?
Yeah, it would definitely be Honey, I think.
I mean, if somebody's going to, it would be Honey, or it would be some local
Omaha Steaks.
Oh yeah, some a local barber shop in Juneau. That not that I live in Juneau, but Juneau, Alaska. Some local barber shop that's trying to be hip and trendy, and they pay us $40 to read their ad.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get that? Can we get that happening?
So many hip and trendy barber shops in Juneau, Alaska.
There's probably at least one.
No. All right. Fortnite and Mark-ass Brownlee.
All right. So this time we'll be talking about. Wait. Let me redo that. If I could choose something to talk about in this podcast, I'd choose Fortnite and Mark-ass Brownlee.
Nailed it.
I am so proud of this community. Okay.
God damn it.
This is such a dead meme at this point.
I know. You just want to continue with the YouTube rewind of Fortnite?
I don't remember anything else from it. So
just say "So Ninja" and then go on.
Oh, okay. So Ninja, what are your thoughts of Fortnite? Oh, did I forget to mention we have the biggest streamer in the world on our podcast? All right, we have not talked about anything actually substantial so far. So this time we're talking about Fortnite. All right, so you've already clicked off. Ninja. Now let's talk about porn.
What?
Just kidding.
Next podcast. All right. All right, Ninja. So how'd you discover Fortnite and get 100K viewers every day?
Well, you see, I was terrible at Halo, so I got cut from my team. All right, that's step one. Then you just have to hop every bandwagon on Twitch that comes by. So you start with some H1Z1, you move to PUBG, eventually you get to Fortnite. All right.
Okay.
So your whole shtick is that you're really genuinely a funny guy, and you just roasting kids on the game. But then you just become family friendly virgin cunt. And Clay.
Better hope that Ninja doesn't get that.
Wow, we just ruined
doesn't get that
any
clip.
chances of Ninja being on our podcast.
Yeah, that is not a good idea.
No, that's fine.
Can we roll
Fuck Tyler Blevins.
Whoa.
I actually don't even mind Ninja.
I didn't know we were doing the fuck Ninja. I thought this was the Fortnite podcast.
Fortnite Ninja, same thing. Disclaimer: if your name happens to be Shroud or Scump, you are still welcome on, even if you've played Fortnite. I mean, I don't think either of them have, but on stream. But
all right, Clan, how'd you actually discover Fortnite?
Okay, so basically,
we just had to kick Ninja off real quick.
I was enjoying myself some Call of Duty World War II. I don't know if that was out at the time, but it was around the same time. Fortnite was. I probably played Fortnite before that, actually.
Yeah, Fortnite was before.
I don't know. This is a long time ago, it feels like.
Yeah.
So basically, I was sitting in my dorm, eating ass. Was I in college by the time Fortnite came out, or did we start playing the summer before that? I can't even remember the story.
You Well, it was September, late September, so
Okay.
you would have
Okay.
been.
So yeah, I was in my
So you
dorm,
were eating ass.
and basically I was just eating ass, and then Andrew hits me up, and he's like,
Oh my god.
"Yo, download Fortnite. It's a free game." I was like, "Okay." So I downloaded it and didn't play it for like 3 weeks, and then
Yep.
I finally played a game with Andrew, and we finished like second our first 3 games on. I'm like, "Well, this is the best game ever because I'm good at it, even though I'm really bad." And then Looch hits me up and is like, this might have been right around the time me and you started really playing every single day together, and it's basically been like that since then.
Yeah.
Like, we've gone through, like, I'd say, like, 3 or 4 phases where we played, like, together every single day. And this one has been going on now for, I mean, when did Fortnite come out?
Fortnite's like over a year old.
Yeah, so, like, a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah, a year and a half. I think that's right.
And then I was playing with Looch, and I was really terrible. And this was before Season 1 even?
Yeah, I think so.
When Season 1 came out, I got the Battle Pass. I have some of the skins, so I mean, I look like a cool guy now. Even though I don't play anymore, which we'll get to.
Yep.
But Season 1 and Season 2, I grinded the shit out of it. And I really grinded up until Season 5. Like, I played through Season 5, and I quit in the middle of Season 6.
Yeah.
So how did you discover it? I discovered it through friends. I didn't know about it before friends told me it.
So, kind of similar. I discovered it through DJ, actually, my brother, which is kind of weird because Matt and Ethan probably play it way more than he does now, but he's the one that found out about
Shout out to DJ for
it.
retiring last night.
What?
What? Dirk Nowitzki?
Yeah. These are facts. You know, it was a long 21 seasons, like top 10 in scoring or whatever. DJ just had a really good career. A lot of people don't know that he's a German superstar in NBA, but we'll get to that for another podcast.
Yep.
But yeah, so it still would have been off season, right? It was still off season for the NBA, so like he had nothing better to do.
Basically.
And he was just looking for something new to play. Found Fortnite because I think it launched like on consoles with PC, I'm pretty sure. For free, which I don't. Yeah, so I don't think any other BR did that.
No.
So that was.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't think of any. So that was something. Oh, and of course there's like Save the World already, but the Battle Royale was free. So he was like, you should just try this because whatever, it's fucking free. Probably sucks, whatever. So then I tried it, and that was like at the point where you'd actually screenshot games and be like, hey, look, I won a game. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
Now it's like you win 10 games a day. You're like, well, fucking getting off now.
Yeah, there was a point during Season 3 where we were probably winning. If we were grinding a full day session, I would say we were winning like 15 plus games a day.
Yeah, I remember Drew said something about people putting on Snapchat getting like a 3-kill dub, and he's like, yeah, we got like 10 dubs today. Like,
yeah, I know, because like I used to play with you and Jared so
that was
much
kind of funny.
that I would just like shit on kids like telling me about their Fortnite wins. I'm like, yeah, last night I was playing with my friends and we got like I think we won 9 games in a row and we won 14 total from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m.
Yeah,
12 a.m.
That was just the God Squad, me, Drew, Jared.
And then it would be like Andrew or Alex.
Pretty much. There's a lot of stories to tell from that God Squad, but we'll get to that. So like that's pretty much how I discovered it, and then played it a lot. Pretty much what you said. I think I stopped around like the end of Season 5, though.
I had a really weird experience with it, and we actually had a pretty similar experience where we both pretty much exclusively started off playing on console for like 95% of the time.
Yep.
And then
when did you make the switch?
I remember because I didn't even have it on my computer, and you had only played I think 5 games on PC, and you're like, just download it on PC and let's give it a try. And I was like, and I did it, and I remember us playing together, and I was like, bro, this is the worst game I've ever played. Now that I'm playing it on PC.
Yeah.
And then like,
took a minute.
I'd have to think about what season I switched, but eventually I switched, and I played probably 2 to 3 seasons exclusively on PC after I only played on Xbox. No, I'd say like.
I think I could help you out. Pretty sure I switched in the middle of Season 3.
Yeah, so I made the switch, but I had a weird time because I still only played with people on console. So all my friends just had to suffer playing PC kids, but it wasn't as bad during Season 3.
No.
You could
But eventually it got
we could still
unplayable.
get W's, but yeah, now
Yeah.
if you tried to do that, it'd be terrible. And then when I finally, for the last like, I probably like after that, I probably had like a good like 3 to 5 weekish time where I switched back to only playing console.
Mhm.
Because I wasn't playing on PC every day, so I was just getting outsweated because PC kids are just like virgins. Um, and plus, I just wanted to play with Alex because Alex was my roommate, and I couldn't play with him.
Yeah, you probably had a ton of fun on PC.
Yeah, and I couldn't play with him like really unless I switched to console because we couldn't get wins, and we were already not that great together.
Yeah.
And then I just quit. Like I just couldn't play anymore. I don't. We'll get into why we quit, I guess.
Yeah.
'Cause,
You want to save that, I guess?
well, so did you ever really try going back to console after being like a PC player?
I played it a couple times, but I didn't like commit to it.
Yeah, it's. I genuinely think playing it on PC ruined it for me a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
I think that's fair to say.
because you just lost the ability to play casually, and it was not fun.
Well, I mean, that's another thing I'm sure we'll get into at some point. I think, like, around the time, I think it was pretty close. Around the time we switched to PC was around the time when Fortnite was like, hey, we're dropping $80 billion
Yeah.
on esports. And there's definitely, like, a noticeable switch when that happened in terms of, like,
I think
how the games play
if
out.
I had to pick one thing that really killed this game, like in general, not just for me, is esports. Like, not
Yeah.
every popular game has to have an esport, and
Nope.
the base game should not have been like. They should have not made it like with any competitiveness in mind. It was fun because it was a casual game
Yeah.
that was still like, still a competition, but it wasn't like actual comp like fucking like professional shit.
Yeah, I agree. And that's, like, the first instance I can think of that happening. That's never really happened.
Yeah, because they tried to do it.
for a
They
game
tried
before
to
for
do
me.
it with PUBG, but for some reason, competitive PUBG didn't take off even when that game was big. Not
Yeah.
like Fortnite.
Yeah, I think it's just because Fortnite announces this big ass prize pool and it's just bigger than any other esport at that point, so everybody's getting into it at that point, and it just kind of killed off like the casual player base, I think. I mean, clearly it hasn't because people still play it casually, but like for me, I didn't want to play it
I
anymore.
mean, anybody
I'm sure there's a lot of people like that.
how many people still play it casually who are over the age of 18?
That's actually a good point. Like the casual player base at this point literally is probably just kids.
And Alex.
Oh, god damn it. The double Alex roast, low key.
Well, don't you wish you could just enjoy terrible games? So you
Okay, all right.
like them?
We'll bring him on so we can roast him one
Okay.
time.
Should we just tell them like that the podcast is about something else, that we just each have a list of things that we hate about them? No, I'm just
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. I gotta get back on track here. Oh yeah, how do you remember when Fortnite was first starting to blow up? Like, how did that go for you, I guess?
When literally every single class, all I ever heard about was kids talking about Fortnite, kids talking about Ninja, because Ninja wasn't. I mean, I like Ninja. I just don't like his PC stream anymore. Like,
Yeah.
he used to be genuinely funny, and now he's just kind of boring to watch. But like literally, I watched Ninja when Fortnite was huge, and that's when I didn't really watch Twitch before that. Like, I'd gone in and out of phases, and that's how big the
Mhm.
game was. It was bringing. I mean, how many thousands, like tens of thousands of people who probably didn't have a Twitch account probably created accounts just because of Ninja. I mean, he alone. Not only Twitch, but Fortnite.
Twitch Prime was really blowing up too at the time.
That helped him a lot. Yeah, he made so much money off that bullshit.
Yeah. That was definitely that was a crazy time
but like,
because you're never gonna see that again for a while, I think.
yeah, in my college classes, like, we had to go around and introduce things about ourselves. I remember first and second semester of my
Oh,
freshman
no.
year, half of the boys in the class said some gay shit about Fortnite.
Really?
Yeah, like, and
Oh,
all the
that's sad.
and like all the like my
College
old
is a
ass
scam.
like 65-year-old Asian like woman professors were even like bringing up Fortnite. Like,
What?
literally everyone knew about it. I mean,
Well,
she made really
I suppose
shitty
like
jokes.
more topically, I've seen stuff on the Apex Reddit of like college professors introducing. Like I saw a specific post about some professor being like, "Hey, my name is whatever. I'm a Lifeline main,"
Some college
which I
professors
thought
are
was
really
kind of
cool.
funny. But
They're way better than high school
Yeah.
teachers who just hate gay people.
that's gay.
Is this the most off-track podcast?
No, this is good. This is good. Kind of
I
figured
s-
this
I
would
s-
happen with Fortnite.
Yeah, I specifically remember my sociology professor. She's like, okay, everybody say one thing about yourself, and literally the first kid stands up, and he just goes, my name is fucking Dick Licker, and I don't remember what his name was, and I play Fortnite all day, and she goes, Fortnite? What's Fortnite? Is that racist? Can I talk like that?
Oh my god.
She's like, what's Fortnite? He goes, and then
Okay.
every kid in the class is like, what's Fortnite? Oh, Fortnite's fucking lit. Like, a bunch of fucking, like, if you saw it right now, you'd just be like, you'd want to kill yourself.
Yeah,
And
that's
she,
bad.
this is what she says. She goes, oh, do you have to play it for a fortnight? And then instead of being, like, cringed out, all the kids are like, hell yeah, we're playing it for a fortnight. Like, it was genuinely
is this true
This
story?
is 100% true. Like, the class was getting
Oh my
turned.
god.
And that was when I was like, I hate college. No.
Yeah. I'm glad you never told me this before
And-
because I probably would have just that would have been bad for my mental state.
And I remember so many college professors would make this shitty joke. They'd be like, well, you got a test tomorrow. Don't play Fortnite all night. Like, every single test
my
for every
God.
professor, they said that for 2 semesters. Probably still saying it right
guess
now.
I guess that's been a thing before, but it is just video
But they would
games
just
in
say
general,
video
not
games.
Fortnite.
They wouldn't.
Yeah.
Fortnite was just insanely big. Fortnite hit like every single. Fortnite might have the best timing of like anything ever.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
A lot of stuff had to go just perfect.
the boom of esports, the boom of Twitch Prime, and then having superstar freaking streamers like wasn't really a thing before. Like, I don't really even like remember before Ninja hearing about like just these gigantic superstar streamers like YouTube has, you know? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
most people just had 5,000 or less viewers, and now I feel like there's just all these people coming out. No, I mean PUBG, there was some people coming like Dr. Disrespect and stuff, and like and
Mhm.
H1Z1 had some big streamers, but I don't know. I just feel like it changed the whole game.
Yeah, these are facts. It's
I
literally
think
never
really
gonna be
the
the
thing
same.
is
especially
it
for
got kids into
Twitch.
Twitch too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like I can't think of Twitch before Fortnite. Like what was big on it.
Yeah, because I
Well,
literally
it's probably like PUBG for a while, but
yeah, the only
not,
time I
not to that extent.
ever watched Twitch was I watched like 2 PUBG Dr. Disrespect streams.
Hmm.
And now streaming is big.
Yeah, that's
like,
actually crazy.
nobody bothers playing making YouTube videos.
Oh, well, that's. I don't know if I put that. I might have put that somewhere in the notes. I don't know. But that's something else we could talk about. Like you see that in the game with everybody with their TTV names now. Like that came with Fortnite 100%. I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, maybe
that often before
occasionally
Fortnite.
on like Black Ops 3 is the first time I could think of seeing TTV in a name.
For me, genuinely, it was Fortnite. I can't remember a single instance before that.
Yeah.
And now it's like on every game now.
Yeah, everything.
Like, even
Everyone wants
fucking
to be a
Battlefield, I'll
streamer.
see TTV. Yeah.
Which is understandable.
that
It's
changed
like
everything.
the most fun job I could possibly imagine.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody does that strat though, because like the first thing I see, I know some people actually do it, but the first thing I do when I see TTV in someone's name is it's like, all right, I'm not going to their stream.
Yeah, that the only reason all it does is if I shit on some kid, I go into their stream to talk shit. That's literally it. I do that on Counter-Strike all the time.
Have you seen there are people that make YouTube videos off of that, of like going into random people's streams when they get good kills on them, making clips of it or whatever.
No, I mean like
That's a thing.
maybe like 2 times on BO4 we've had somebody come into your stream while I was there because you had like
Oh,
shit on
yeah.
him so hard. But I remember the one kid came in and he was a legend. He was just like, "Yo, dude, how'd you get so good?" He wasn't even being like,
yeah,
a
that
dick.
happens. I got a good message yesterday too. It happens like once every 2 months.
I know, because people just assume if you're good at like games that you're just like a loser. I mean, I am a loser, but come on, you can't assume it.
Yeah, but at least I'm good at COD. All right. I guess that's the thing though. Like the TTV thing. I see that on YouTube a lot now of people going into people's streams and like getting reaction clips of them. Now like that, I feel like maybe you could find videos of that, but I don't think that was a thing before Fortnite because there just wasn't enough people to where you could just how many TTV people can you kill in a day in Fortnite? Like it's probably so fudging many.
Oh yeah.
Whereas before like the chances of you killing someone and them being a streamer, having their stream on, I feel like that shit just wouldn't happen.
Yeah, you could do that so many times in a day now. 'Cause I usually also assume if somebody has TTV in their name, they're terrible at the game.
That's actually true. The fake sweat is the TTV in their name. That's like
it's always
their calling card. Every fucking time. Do you want to go into? I guess we could go into why we stopped playing at this point.
The same reason that makes me want to quit, like, COD sometimes and things like that is, it just, they just cater. I don't know. Like, this is gonna sound kind of hypocritical, because I just said I hated esports about it, but like they just cater to bots, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I want to play casually, but if somebody's worse than me, I want to kill them every time without it being bullshit.
No, that's actually a good point with Fortnite, because it's really weird how they almost have, like, an identity crisis with that. Like, they want to be that competitive esports title, but they make all these changes to be super casual.
Yeah, accessible, casual, like, BR. And you can't have both.
Yeah.
Because what you have is both.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Is you just piss off everybody who's actually good.
Yeah.
Which is why I think
that
most
actually
people
is a
have
good
switched
point.
to like Apex at this point or something, or even Blackout. Like, I would rather stream Blackout every day than Fortnite.
Yeah, 100%. We should actually try the Alcatraz thing. Actually, looks kind of cool. And that's the thing too. I mean, I guess they update the map, but Fortnite hasn't had a new map. It's been out for a year and a half.
Like, it's significant.
I actually don't like it.
It was perfect during like season 3.
See, that's the thing. Like, the changes of the maps and stuff were cool, and like the events at first were cool, but after, I think once it got to around the time I stopped playing, like season 5, that's when I was like, all right, is this what it's gonna be? Like every season, there's gonna be some dumb event that doesn't mean anything, makes the map worse.
Really bad.
Like,
the last like 2 or 3 seasons was the events that made the map drastically different.
Yeah, and it's like at this point, I feel like they should have a season. It should honestly, like, they've already dragged it out. It should be the next season, where they're just like, all right, this is it. Like, this is our final map change, and then we're moving on. Or like have it be a transition to the new map.
I remember
something.
asking for a new map in like season 2, I think.
That's what I'm saying. I know Jared would always bitch about it, so that's like, gotta bring up Jared. But that's how I always remember it, because I remember him in fucking January. Remember the BR came out in late September. I remember him in January being like, yeah, when are they gonna come out with a new map? Like, it's gotta happen soon, right?
Well, you'd think. I mean, PUBG has 3 or 4 maps right now.
Yeah. I guess they just try to like save their work there to work on skins and shit.
Yeah, you know.
Instead of making a new map, just change
full
it.
development team to make skins.
Yeah. That was just another thing. I thought it'd be cool if you could have a whole new playing experience. Like if they made a small map, a really big Fortnite map would be kind of interesting, I think, because I always thought the mid game was kind of ass in Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean that's what they
could at least experiment.
VR. I mean that's what Black Ops just did. That's what PUBG did. Is they just make like the really tiny map, but they could have used it too.
Mhm. I guess. Well, that's a good transition to talk about the Battle Pass.
The Battle Pass is what like
that.
really made me get into the game. Honestly, for the first couple of seasons that I had it. Because I just wanted to complete all of it and complete the weekly challenges was the best change they made, like in the Battle Pass aspect. Because like I loved doing the weekly challenges. Like I remember like freaking checking them before I'd go to class at like 8 a.m. and shit just to see what they were, and then I just like honestly it was kind of bad. Like I felt like a freaking 12-year-old. I was just like waiting to go back and do my challenges from class like in college.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean that's just how that game was really addicting no matter how bad it got.
Yeah. Now you see like every game copy that now too.
Yeah.
Like the Battle Pass model. That's
and I'm not sure any games
now.
had a better Battle Pass than Fortnite ever though, because like Fortnite gave you legitimate cool stuff every season pretty much.
Yeah, still, and just like sheer number of content too.
Yeah, and they keep adding even like, I mean, they have like gun camos and shit now. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And Call of Duty and Apex both just have garbage battle passes. There's literally like 2 cool rewards out of the 100 in Call of Duty.
You know, I'll give Blackout credit. They technically added in gun camos if we're going like how long the game's been out, faster than Fortnite. Even though it was still technically after Fortnite. It was sooner in the life cycle, I guess. Gotta give him something, okay?
You gotta help him out however you can.
I gotta give Vondi some props. Like, come on, bro. Deserves something. Yeah, I don't know. For the Battle Pass, like, it kept me going for a while, but that was the thing, too. Like, that was probably the reason I was playing the game for longer than I probably, like, wanted to play it.
Quit earlier.
I would have quit way sooner. Especially because it's all... I guess one thing I don't like about Fortnite, so much of it is just cosmetic stuff, like new cosmetic stuff every week, and people are like, oh yeah, they add in new stuff every week though, or there'll be like a new vehicle or a new weapon or whatever. But still, like a lot of the times that shit just ends up getting removed anyways because they like fuck up the game with it.
That's one annoying thing is how often guns get vaulted and unvaulted and buffed and nerfed, and new guns are added and then they're taken away and they're changed, and it's just, and then they change the rarities and everything like all the time.
Another solid segue. I wanted to talk about like how you feel about Fortnite's updates and shit like that.
I think at this point Xbox should just tell them to go kill themselves and that they have to make their game get out of beta.
Oh my god. Well, that's their advantage, right?
Yeah, that's why they're in beta.
So they're able to do everything. Because they're literally ahead of every other game because of that.
Which is, like, how often can you update it with when you're like a full release game?
I think it depends, right? Because they have to go through the certification process with Microsoft and Sony, and that can take like so long. So, I guess when it's early access, you can just release shit. But when it's an actually finished game, they have to check on it for some reason.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And that process, from what I've seen from devs, it can take like anywhere between 1 to 2 weeks. So, I don't know. Depends. Obviously, Fortnite does like weekly updates, so that wouldn't work for them.
Yeah. And that's like the thing. I think that's really just might be a fault on Microsoft and Sony.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's a thing on... Well, obviously it's not on PC because they have their own devoted launcher, but I meant on Steam.
No.
And with other games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a thing on there, of course. I don't know. I think another thing, too, with Fortnite's updates that at the time, like, when we were playing it, we kind of bitched about is, like, for how frequently they have updates, some of the major issues that have been in the game take forever to get fixed. Which is really weird.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Like, double pump was a thing for how long? I feel like that shit was a thing for, like, half a year. And to me, that's just like a complete exploit.
To me, yeah, I don't understand how that didn't get categorized as an exploit. Because if you exploited intentionally on stream, Fortnite would literally have your Twitch account banned. But double pump was never an exploit, technically, I guess.
Which doesn't make sense because it is. Like I don't get that.
Can you imagine though if like you could get banned for double pumping?
Dude, that'd be fucking great. I would love that.
All the streamers would just get shit on all the time because they're not allowed to double pump.
That would have been amazing. Yeah, that would have saved Fortnite. Dude, that actually would have been really funny. There's a really good Clayster video I have to send you after this where he's going over like spots in the Black Ops 3 maps, because you know how you can just like break those maps really. Because there was a point in time where the CWL was saying like, oh, we don't want people using any unintended lines of sight. So he's basically just going through the maps and being like, is this an exploit? Is this an exploit? What is it? What is it? And like that's just the whole thing. But that's kind of the thing with Fortnite though too. Like they don't really. What is an exploit?
Oh yeah.
Like they don't.
They just kind of accept it.
How are you supposed to say that?
Like rocket riding was not intended at all, and then it just became a thing, and they committed to that, and they made like emotes based off of it and stuff.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? Like that's cool. Double pump for so long until they changed it was cool, but some of the old exploits that you'd see Tfue do or whatever, like that's an exploit.
Yeah, he got banned.
We're gonna ban people for
like it makes
that stuff didn't make sense to me.
Especially to ban one of your biggest players who also spent a shit ton of money on your game.
Yeah, that was smart. Well, I think he got. I don't think he got banned for exploiting. I think he got banned for something else, but there was still controversy over that, I think.
Well, it was because he. I thought it was because he intentionally exploited on stream. Because there's literally like videos of him exploiting and showing
No.
people how to do it.
I'm pretty sure the reason he got banned though had something to do with selling his account. I'll look it up.
Oh, okay, that makes sense, I guess.
It was something like that. Well, while I look it up, went over a lot of chat. We could talk about the limited time modes if you want to.
That was one thing they did really well. I mean, that other games need to do, I think, because the limited time modes were like a really fun break from the game, and it allowed you to play more casually since it didn't really count towards anything.
Mm-hmm.
I thought most of them were all at least fun. 50v50 was really big, and that one was honestly like the worst one, but
I played it a lot.
I didn't really like that one.
It's a good like fun mode.
I mean, yeah, it was fun. I liked like the ones like high explosives and like the sniper shootout and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
50v50 was fun, but yeah, I mean, it was fine. I'm not like complaining, I guess, about it. I just mean out
That's
of them, I
something
like the other ones.
I think that's something we can agree upon though, that like Fortnite does really well. That probably keeps people playing their game. It's not always just every week. It's not always just like the same VR experience.
Yeah.
They do a good job of like mixing it up and stuff.
Because like when COD released theirs, like every Blackout LTM has been like just terrible, pretty much.
Yeah, and they come out with Hot Pursuit, and you know, that's what we've had for like a month now. Well, until the Alcatraz map came out, but Fortnite, it felt like for a while every other week or something like that there'd be a new limited time mode, which is just crazy.
It was either once a week or once every other week. I can't remember.
Mhm. You just can't keep up with that. Like other games just can't compete. So I looked it up on the side. It was his teammate told people that he got banned for exploiting, but that wasn't true. He got banned for selling his account or trying to sell his account or something like that.
Why would he sell his account? What an idiot! He's rich.
I don't know. I don't know.
I bet you got
but
offered like a dumb amount of money, like fucking like
Yeah.
20 grand or something.
Oh yeah, because people, you know, that would have all the early skins and stuff. I'm sure that was a big thing for a while, like kind of like with CS. Kind of similar.
Yeah, CS actually fixed their problem though, which kind of sucks because I like buying cheap skins, but
Yeah. So I didn't see like the exact details on it, or I think he put out a YouTube video on it, so you can watch that if you wanted to. But, like the thing that Epic said was that like he was aware of account selling and purchasing, like it's against the rules, and he engaged in that anyway. So something along those lines.
what an idiot.
Which, like you said, that's really weird to me. Yeah, why would... I don't know why you do anything involved in that. Like, that's really odd, but whatever. Like, his stream was already blown up at the time.
Yeah, he was
Like,
already
is that not
like,
enough?
he was already like a top 3, maybe top 5 Fortnite streamer and YouTuber at that time.
Oh, yeah. Definitely way up there, so that just seems really odd. But, I mean, people have done dumber shit.
Isn't he in FaZe, right, or no?
Yeah, and he definitely was at the time as well. So, yeah, I think he was on
wasn't
FaZe
there,
for a
like,
while
news,
at the time.
Like that Ninja was gonna be in FaZe as well, and then it never happened.
Well, that's Ninja rumors. There's always shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
I could still see something like that happening just because he'll get even more money, but
yeah.
can you imagine how
I
much
guess so.
FaZe Ninja merch would sell?
Oh my god. I guess like any org Ninja merch would sell a lot, but yeah, that's
I
true.
just feel like FaZe just for the memes alone would make like $1 million because it has a FaZe logo on it. And
Oh, yeah.
Ninja.
So I have this funny thing in the outline where I was going through stuff that we like about Fortnite that other games could learn from, and one of the things I put down was the game used to be fun. I don't know what you think about that, but like, I mean, I guess we already talked about a little bit why we stopped playing, but why exactly did it stop being fun? Was it the esports nature? Was it like the updates? Was it a combination of things?
It was just like the sweatiness, I feel like, because that game was not a good competitive game.
Yeah, in public matches.
And they drove it so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, it was really just I don't know exactly what to pinpoint it on, but that everybody quit at once. The one big thing Fortnite had going for it, and you saw, and I don't know about you, but I saw it all over social media in general, was that was probably like the first time in 2 or 3 years where everybody started playing Xbox again. Who haven't, like, people who hadn't played in over a year turned their Xboxes back on to play.
It's like that. Remember that Apex TikTok? Remember that?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Like it brought
Fortnite.
back like those old, like, because that was the first time in a long time I would like sit and grind games with my friends like all night.
Yeah.
That was the best part about it, regardless of like how good the game was.
Mhm. That's probably why it stayed on top for for such a long time, because
It was free.
there was nothing.
Also, is like,
Oh, that's yeah. That's a big factor. I can't believe like that's a big factor with every game.
I mean, if that game was
Can't
game
leave
was
that
even
out.
like a $20 purchase, it never would have ever gotten as big.
Oh, 100%. There's no way it would have taken off like it did. Like, not even close. That's why it makes me wonder if, I mean, this isn't Fortnite focused, but it's relevant, can throw it in there. Do you ever think that games like Battlefield, like COD, are going to go free to play? At least with their BR modes?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you have to.
I don't think like
Even
I don't think
PUBG.
like Black Ops 5 would be free to play, but I would think if they came out with they would come out with an own standalone VR, it would be free.
Hmm.
Like as a separate
A lot of people
launcher.
have been saying that they should come out with like they should just make Blackout its own thing. And I mean, Blackout's this month, right? Completely free to play for everybody. So maybe they're like leaning into doing something like that.
It should just be its own thing. It should just be called like, yeah, like Call of Duty Blackout and be its own series maybe.
Yeah. If they wanted to do that too, I mean that's what they would have to do. I don't see how any game, no matter like how good it is, could compete with Fortnite without being free to play.
Yeah. I mean, PUBG got gigantic considering it was never free, but
Yeah, but I don't even know if there'd ever be another game like that with that kind of growth.
yeah.
Especially, well, you also got to think too. At the time, like there was no Fortnite to PUBG, so
Well, there's H1Z1.
That was-
H1Z wasn't free.
H1 wasn't free
Yeah,
to play
yeah.
though, right? Yeah. So like that's the thing. That's how Fortnite kind of changed things, I guess. Coming out as free to play, getting a lot of people to try it.
And it was totally on accident too, because Save the World was supposed to be the game.
Yeah, it made sense too for people that maybe haven't played as much BR, weren't sure if they'd like it. It's like, oh, now I can just try it. I'm not gonna drop $20 on PUBG and then it's gonna run 10 FPS on my Xbox.
Oh yeah, I forgot there's an Xbox version. That's so shitty.
Yep. Oh, another thing I put for that Fortnite does well that I'm surprised we didn't mention when like it came out, but it's a really, for the most part, some hiccups, but a pretty stable game.
Surprising. It was actually one of the best optimized PC games I've ever played.
Yeah, it was. I mean, to be fair as well, it was good on console
people were
too.
playing Fortnite without really. Well, it was good on console, yeah, without any problems on like their fucking like 2011 like laptops.
Oh yeah, it was a big factor for the PC community, because PUBG, that's the thing that it always got railed for, is that you could have good PCs and it'd run like shit.
Yep, that a lot of companies have had that problem, and that's really the nature of having to try and make a game that runs on 3 million different pieces of hardware.
Yeah.
Instead of just like a uniform set of hardware.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's definitely a big part for their success, though. It runs well on not just any PC, but like any console. It just does well on everything. Like you said, like the timing of it and how it was made, like it's just so perfect for it.
yeah,
Do you remember though? I do remember on console that was a pretty big update where it started off as 30 FPS and then eventually they added in an option to go 60, but like it wasn't recommended. And then eventually a little bit after that, I think with season 3, they just made it 60 for everybody. Got rid of the 30 option.
I honestly don't really remember that, but I'm also one of those
Oh.
people who doesn't really notice the difference between 30 and 60.
Well, see, for me that was a big thing, especially after, like that's the one thing that kept me on the console version for so long, because after I played the PC version for a little bit with 60 FPS, I'm like, oh, I can't go back to that shit now. Like, that's not
definitely
happening.
way cleaner on the PC, I guess. I would say I notice it. It just doesn't bother me.
Oh, what'd you say?
I would say I like I when I so fucking stumbling around my words here. I definitely can notice the difference between 60 and 30. Like I could see how much more amazing that game felt and looked on PC, but it just doesn't really bother me because it's not like it would bother me if I was playing console versus PC, but if everybody's on 30, it doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
you know.
I guess I was just saying, like, it's a testament to the stability of the game. Like, that's kind of crazy that they were able to raise the frame rate, double it on console, the cap, midway through its life cycle, or like 6 months into the game or so.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of crazy if you think
Counter
about
Strike
it.
still runs on Source 1.
Oh my god. Alright, Counter Strike Roast Podcast coming up next.
Dude, I like Counter Strike. I can't roast it. It's not Fortnite.
Alright, so I think we went over most of like the positive stuff, so get into the negative stuff for the end here.
Turbo building.
We'll get to that. The first thing I want to talk about was not listening to fan feedback. I know that's kind of a hot topic now, because we only see stuff through the grapevine, but there's definitely been a lot of bitching about that recently. Of Epic just like not taking the community.
See, yeah, it's hard for me to
not
like
letting it
really
factor
judge
in.
that because I'm not a part of the community. But if we're assuming that like people like
Some
Ninja
of those polls are pretty convincing.
represent the entire community, then then yeah, I would say that they're not listening.
Well, that's where it gets
But when
weird
you ask
because
people like Alex, I mean, I know Alex isn't like a gigantic gamer. Like, I mean, he plays a lot.
no,
of
he's
games.
a perfect example.
But when you ask people like Alex,
Oh.
he didn't understand why the leeching was in the game, like,
Yeah.
which is a fair like that's a good person to like take into consideration when
No, Alex is a perfect example
'Cause-
because he's probably the majority player base
and
is someone like him that plays it for fun.
somebody like him doesn't like the leeching, even though apparently everybody wants it back. Which, I mean, I don't even know how to feel about that because I didn't know it was a thing before it got removed.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're even probably getting into, like, again, the competitive casual divide here. Like, that's another factor here, I
I
think.
think what they just needed to do is they just needed to sell out to being a casual game, like we said.
Yeah, especially, like, the shit that they pull during tournaments, with just fucking, like, people's lives on the line with the amount of money that they play for, or just, like, dropping new items, like, lol. That shit's really stupid.
And like all of the offline tournaments, like were some like skeptical entries by like random people.
Oh, yeah, do you remember...
I remember there
don't know
was
if you
the
remember
one
this one in
really
particular.
big one where like the Xbox guy broke like the record or something.
No, I think it was a guy. It was definitely a guy in PlayStation. I remember this. He got, like, if you look at his stats,
Oh.
he had really average stats, and he dropped like double 20 bombs for the first time ever during the tournament.
Yeah.
And there was like so much that so many like accusations surrounding that, like accusations of him playing on mouse and keyboard, like setting up people in the lobbies and shit like that. Like there was a lot of stuff surrounding that.
I think in general, if you're gonna do anything offline, like offline, I mean online tournaments, not offline, online, like anything that's not LAN, I think if you're not streaming it, you're not allowed to compete.
Oh, that was a factor too. He wasn't streaming it, I believe. Like, although I think he went back and showed in the theater mode afterwards his gameplay, but
Yeah.
still.
I just meant like
Still
as
kinda
a
weird.
general thing, like it's different in COD, I guess. Like you only really need one person streaming, but
Yeah.
I really don't think you should
no,
be able
you're-
to compete in an online event without being live streaming.
No, for a tournament like that, I think you're 100%
And then if
right.
you take into consideration how much money Fortnite people are fucking playing for, there's gotta
Oh,
be
yeah.
no bullshit.
That's my issue with Fortnite competitive. Why it like pisses me off so much is like you have these people that literally like throw their lives on the line, sacrifice it for this game because of like all this fucking money that's being thrown down for it, and like you just kind of just fuck around with it and don't really care for it. Like the way Epic experiments with items and shit like that mid tournament kind of makes it seem like they don't care.
Yeah, it makes it
Which,
seem
I
like
don't
they
know.
just assume everybody who's a big Fortnite player is fucking Ninja.
Yeah,
Like, you know, he
it's-
can afford
it's really
to not
weird.
win. And it's also like he's taken home the prize money a lot of times anyways, like at least a part of it. He didn't really win a lot of them, like first place if any, but he took home some prize money for sure. Um,
All right, so going back to, because we're getting into the competitive shit again now. Like, I think the future for Fortnite competitive shouldn't be. It should be like a show match type thing. It shouldn't be like actual Fortnite competitive is a joke. Like, I think the future there is them being like, hey, look at this. We got this event where we have some actual competitive players and like popular streamers and shit, and they come together and fucking wreck some pubs or something. Like, that's what they should do.
it'd be better than what's going on.
Because
now.
they already. Well, yeah, because I'm just saying that because they already fucked up the actual competitive. And do you remember like the Friday Fortnite tournaments or whatever? A lot of people like that shit.
That was the only good competition that Fortnite's ever had, and they freaking cut.
And it's not
funding.
even. Yeah, and it's not even like a competition either. Like everybody knows that it's pubs. Like anybody could win, but that's Fortnite. Like that's
why
fine.
it's fun. Yeah, because it's the most casual competitive event that existed while still having big prizes. And a lot of small
Yeah.
people won those events, and it probably helped them out a lot too.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you'd still see. I think Friday Fortnite when it was a thing. I'm pretty sure Tifu's team won like half of them or something like that. So
Yeah.
it was still mostly competitive. But every other week, you'd see someone come in and just have a really good week and keep it interesting.
I only watched one Friday Fortnite because it was like the worst timing ever. It was during the only days I worked.
Oh, that's tough.
But I just remember following it on Twitter like while at work.
And it got really like hyped support as well. Like a lot of people get excited over it, whereas I remember when I watched actual Fortnite competitive, most people are just like, what's going on the screen right now?
Yeah, I remember people like
Like-
always tweeting about Friday Fortnite. They're like, "Oh, we'll be back next week and shit," and nobody ever actually cared about the like Fortnite
Yeah.
competitive.
So I know you don't really at least for COD like the casters. I absolutely hate the casters in
I never
Fortnite
watched
because when
one
I listen
Fortnite
to them.
event.
Okay, so I used to watch I watched Friday Fortnite for pretty much as long as it lasted, and then I watched the competitive events when they first started them, maybe like the first 2 that they did, something like that, 2 or 3.
Okay.
And whenever one of those guys casts, I'm always like, dude, just stop trying. Like, there's no, you can't cast this. Like, you can't cast a competitive Fortnite endgame with 40 people in a little box. Like, you can't do that. Just let it play out.
I don't like casting in
Because pretty
general,
much, yeah. But you should, I don't know, I should send you a clip of the end games of those games or something, because it gets really ridiculous where they're like, oh, this person's in his box and he's going to edit and he's going to shoot, and then this person's in their box and they're going to edit and they're going to shoot, and then this person's in that box and they got to move, and then this person's going to move from the storm so he can make another box. Like, that's literally all it is.
Nothing like pro players still building 1x1s.
That's the game, though. Like, oh, we never really talked about building.
Yeah, I briefly mentioned that turbo building is bad. That's about it.
Let's get back to that, because I know we said we'd
Okay,
get to that
turbo
eventually.
building is bad.
Do you want to go into why, though? We don't like it?
It's just annoying because the game, like, that's one of my favorite parts about console is you didn't have to worry about everybody being so OP at building.
Yeah.
And then they just made it easy for I mean, like, okay, I want it to be casual, and I want it to be it's not that it wasn't hard to build without turbo building, but then once everybody could do it, it got terrible.
It got really easy.
Like
There's still people that could build, but it got a lot easier.
yeah, like people are just I mean, that's the biggest complaint about that game in general probably is that as soon as you even take a shot, anybody within like distance of hearing
there's
it is putting their thing up.
Yeah, there's already a tower. I think you'll agree with me on this. It's or this is like kind of what we're getting at. It's not turbo building. Like the issue with it is just that it made building, which was already hard, just so much easier and like accessible. Like remember how bad people were at Fortnite?
Dude, everybody was
you
a
could like
bot.
trap people in boxes.
Yeah.
Now with turbo building, it's like any kill is a hard kill or like a heavy resource investment, because you got to sit there, you got to shoot out walls for like 8 minutes until you can get in their box and blow their head off. And eventually just got to a point where it's like, I'm better than this guy, I should be able to just shit on him. Like, this is dumb. To people talk about building raising the skill ceiling, I think that's like a clear example of it making the skill ceiling a lot lower.
That was like
because literally all you have to do is just spam.
Biggest complaints is that like it ruined the game for almost everybody.
Yeah. There's no There's no like after turbo building. There's no like heavy advantage fight where this person's like clearly better and they're just gonna mop the floor real quick. It's like every fight takes 3 minutes now, even if you're way better than the person.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Just got kind of frustrating.
It got very frustrating.
Well, I mean that's pretty much a big reason why we stopped playing. Why do you think not too many people talk about that though? Like I don't see that brought up a lot.
I feel like most people just accept buildings like part of the game, I guess, because it is part of the game. It's what makes it a unique game, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I look at clips, or used to. I haven't looked at a fucking Fortnite clip in like half a year. But,
Yeah.
I'd watch a clip in the past of a build fight pre-turbo building, and it's crazy how different it is. Like, it's a completely different game.
Yeah, and I know I just said it, but like just when I think about building, all I could think about is how frustrating it was that you could never just get in a gunfight.
Yeah, I think for us, and for a lot of people, the reason why people don't like building is they find it more tedious than fun.
Yeah, building was like the worst part. I like the general gunfights about the game was actually legitimately fun, but
Yep.
other than that, it's not very fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's something, I don't know if you've seen this, but I see a lot of people that don't play Fortnite, that like maybe play it a little bit more casually. Usually that's what they say is like, oh, I like the movement, I like how the game looks, I like the guns and stuff. I just don't like the building, so I don't play it very much. Did they ever do like a no building mode?
I don't think so. I don't think
That'd
they
be
ever did. They
interesting.
could have done that. That would have been kind of cool.
I would have liked to have seen that. Just I don't know if it actually play well, but it'd be interesting to see. Okay, so we pretty much already talked about like combining esports with casual gameplay and stuff like that. Here's I think the best point on the list for things that we don't like about Fortnite: stealing dances from the Orange Justice kid.
I would say in general, most of the dances they stole, they didn't actually steal. It's like up to a million people have done. I mean, 2 people could think of an original dance, but the Orange Justice kid, man, come on, that's just rude.
That one was like the one actual serious case though. Like if you look at all the other cases, it's like, oh, this person just wants money.
Which is really annoying because like, do you know who Roy Purdy is?
Yes.
He tried to claim that he made the Orange Justice kid dance, and then
Oh really?
yeah,
Didn't he get it from him?
obviously it was from him. Like everybody knew that, and then he's like, well, I should be able to get the money because I'm the one who made it a popular dance.
He actually did that? I don't like him anymore.
Yeah, because he tried to say that he's the one who made it popular because he submitted him doing the dance for the Boogie Down challenge.
Well, what dance was it? The Floss Kid, where there's like clips of people flossing from years before him, and he's like, yeah, I invented this.
Yeah, like that's the whole thing. Like I'm sure he didn't maybe necessarily steal it, but that doesn't mean that 2 people couldn't come up with it because it's a pretty simple dance.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that's the thing with dances
with that
though.
dance,
Is like
if you're just swinging your arms around for fun.
How do you copyright a dance? Like it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, and then Blockboy JB, the shoot dance, which is called Hype in Fortnite. He tried to sue for that one.
But that was you seem very well educated on the dance suit.
Well, yeah, because I follow all these rappers on Instagram and they're all being pussies about it. And then they stole the Millie Rock from like Playboy Cardi's song, like that was big for. I mean, like that.
So this actually.
And then it turned into a whole thing where they
like
said they're just ripping off black people.
Oh really? Was that a thing?
Yeah, like that's still a pretty hot topic.
Oh my
Which
god.
I mean, hip hop and dance culture in general is pretty much black culture. Like,
dude,
they make all
white
of it.
culture is just ripping off black culture.
I mean, in general, yeah.
It actually is though.
Yeah.
I can't believe still like how big of a deal that shit is with the dances
It's
and
just
stuff.
because they have no money and they just want money.
Yeah. Well, you just come in with all these examples, and it's like, I just remember the first time I saw 2 or 3 of those come out with the Orange Justice one and the Floss one, but apparently there's a way more than that. Oh, there's probably a ton. So I think, like, our final thoughts here are justice for the Orange Justice kid. He definitely deserves that money, but fuck everyone else.
Warner Hart's account.
No. God damn
I
it.
can't go. We have to say
The
that every
vi-
episode.
All right. God damn it. There's only a couple more things I wanted to say. Oh, I just wanted to have. Do you want to rant about Tilted Towers?
Dude, come on. No, I was the one who be saying the drop tilted every game.
No, dude. Come on.
I'm sorry, I'm not. I can't roast it, Looch. I liked tilted towers. I liked like high space action. It was the only chance you had of fighting without building because you were killing people before they looted.
That's fair. That's a good point.
That's why I liked it. That's why I only went to hot drops in general. It's a terrible spot if you're trying to win.
No, the actual thing I wanted
And
to
the
rant
FPS
about
is
was
really
Tilted.
bad.
That okay, well that and I wanted to bitch about how like they're in game like changing the map, their teases and shit. It was teased to like a major change for Tilted for like that was a tease for a long time and nothing ever happened.
Well,
It was
they
like
blew
such
it
a
up
waste
with
of
a
time.
meteor.
Yeah, they blew up like a building.
Yeah, I know. It was not really a change at all. You're right.
No. They literally just like switched a building up. Like what? Come on. I thought it was gonna be, what they did to Loot Lake? I thought it was gonna be something of that level where it's like, oh, they're not gonna get rid of Tilted, but they're gonna completely redesign it. I'm like, that would be dope. But it's just one building got blown up with a fucking meteor. Like what?
I just like Tilted because I think that's what would have been fun if there was a map that was all just high paced like that without being a shitty location.
Yeah.
I mean, Tilted was just bad because you just got shot in the back or like from 10 fucking stories up or something.
I just didn't like how it affected. I thought the map as a. I don't think Tilted in its own is bad. I think it ruined the map as a whole.
Yeah, because like then I thought it was inevitable. Like I was like, oh, there's always gonna be that one spot, which is true sometimes. But like Blackout really doesn't have that spot.
No, and even
Apex
Apex, the spot is
but, like,
Skulltown.
even some games, there's nothing on Skulltown.
Yeah, like if the bus route isn't bus route in Fortnite, people are landing Tilted. But if the bus route isn't Skull in Apex, people aren't always gonna land Skull.
I think what Fortnite needed to do was like the circles also on that game never would go to a spot outside. It had to go to the middle.
Yeah, that's it.
Like there's
You notice that?
no Junk Junction, no Haunted Hills, no Sandy Shores,
Yeah.
no freaking like the woods area. I can't remember all the names.
There's no way that shit was 100% random. That circle in Fortnite.
No, because I think it was like mathematically based, so that way everybody could get to the spot, which means they would
okay.
never go
That's
to a
weird.
corner because it would be impossible if you were in the other corner.
God, that's lame.
Which is like PUBG just says, yeah, go fuck yourself. I guess you shouldn't have landed that far out. That's
I
just
kinda like
part
that.
of the risk with landing out on the outside of the map.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think they either had
That's-
to do something like make like that, or you'd have to do it like Realm Royale does it. And sometimes there was a Fortnite LTM that did it where it starts off with part of the map already gone.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was a thing. So do you remember the BR that came out? What the fuck was it called? It was around Fortnite Season 3. It lasted literally a week, and it was made by Epic.
Don't remember.
You don't remember this game?
No.
I'll have to look it up after this. It literally lasted a week, but the way that game was different was the map was, I guess it was how Realm did it then, or similar to that. It was grids instead, and some of the grids would just be
Yeah,
that's
I
how they would do
remember
the
that.
zone. They would just lock off the grids. So that was how it was unique, I guess.
Yeah, I remember that now that you say that.
Okay. Now I'm gonna have to figure out the name for it though, because now it pisses me off.
If we would want to just end off with some closing thoughts about Battle Royale, has anybody
BR in
ever
general?
played Counter-Strike's Battle Royale still?
Oh my god. Oh, so that's what CS did too.
Yeah,
the grids.
that's what I
They
thought
stole
it
it from that game that we don't remember.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna look up. I'm literally looking up Battle Royale like March 2018 because I don't know what to do. Yeah, do you want to talk about how shitty Counter-Strike's
I've
Battle
only played
Royale
one
is?
game.
I've played 2. All right, so I'm very well versed.
All right, well, you're twice as educated as me, but
Okay, genuine thoughts. We should do a Counter-Strike podcast. I don't want to waste them all, but like genuine thoughts. I think it's weird how CS is like all ARs, but then the BR is like all SMGs for the most part.
at least it switches it
Like
up,
that was always kind of
but-
weird.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you
At
say?
least it makes the gameplay different, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's
It's
also
just,
partially because
it's just
it came
odd.
out with the MP5 silenced, and I think they're trying to push the meta change, and even though
Oh,
that
yeah.
gun's not good.
Well, even then, I don't know if I ever picked up an AK, and well, I only played 2 games, but
Yeah.
I think the
I only had
SG was
I
the
only had
one
a
AR.
pistol, so
Oh, yeah, there is some genuinely kind of cool stuff in that CS mode. It's
I like
just
the landing, like the way you land.
yeah.
Because sometimes
I kind of like
when
the money system.
yeah.
I like how they incorporated that.
I would like I almost kind of like this idea, even though it would get annoying. Maybe for an LTM or something though, a BR where you don't have to drop, like you just spawn in on a random spot with your squad.
No, that'd be cool. How about well, you've probably heard this before, but like a BR where you drop with a pistol, like that. I feel like that would.
I don't know why that's not.
It
a
wouldn't.
thing.
Yeah, like I feel like that alleviates so many annoyances with BR. You know, like I know it always happens to Matt, so I just gotta roast him, put him in here. Let me just be Matt for a second. At the beginning of an Apex
okay.
game. I can't find a fucking gun!
That literally sounded like Matt.
Dude, I literally searched 3 houses. This is a fucking no gun. I got armor, a knockdown shield, and a helmet. Fuck this game! Alright. Go back to the podcast. But I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
It's a thing.
Like
the
a little,
only time,
just
only
a
game
pistol.
that has it is like when you respawn in the LTMs in Blackout.
Oh yeah, that's true. Even with Apex, bro, how come when you get respawned you don't drop with like a P2020? Like I know that shit's not gonna make a difference, but
But it
like,
might,
come on.
like if you hit your shots and like get lucky.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there are a lot of situations where I'll get respawned and the teammate with a gun will get a guy one shot and it's like, well, I have to try to punch him.
Oh yeah.
If I had a P2020, it could actually do that. Are there any other like ideas you have that BR should implement?
I think we kind of covered it.
Okay. Well, the last thing for Fortnite, like any specific Fortnite moments, like positive or negative, just like shit that sticks out that you want to go over from when it wasn't gay.
I remember playing with you, Jared, and Alex Hayden one night. I think we won like 11 games back to back, and then we ended up winning. We lost 1 game, and then we won 4 more games in a row. I remember that. Like that was.
It was
fun.
just a good ass day.
And it was literally only at nighttime. It wasn't like we started early. Like we just got on at night and got like 15 dubs in a ridiculously
That's
short
actually
time.
impressive. Dude, that had to have been early on because Fortnite at night now would be like, oh, TTV,
it was-
TTV, TTV.
It was definitely like, well, that had to have been season 3 or 4 because that was the
okay.
second semester of my freshman year of college because I lived with Alex when that happened.
Okay. That might make sense. It was probably season 3 then because I think I switched to PC by season 4,
Yeah.
so it's probably early season 3.
I think you're right.
That must have been pretty dominant. I have a video. I'll send it to you. Called the Leroy Jenkins clutch, which is just my best Fortnite moment of all time. I don't know. Have you seen that before?
Was I in the game or?
I don't think so. So you might not have seen it. I think it was. I actually don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's me and Jared and maybe. Well, me, Jared, Matt, and maybe DJ. I don't remember who the 4th was, so I'll have to check. It could have been Justin, maybe. But yeah, that video, let's put it in the description or something. That shit was pretty legendary.
I will have to do that.
Just like clutching an unclutchable situation. Alright, Claughton, I'm ready to bond.
All right.
So,
I'd just like to
my-
stop this by saying Ali A is my favorite YouTuber.
And I'd like to stop this by saying Jared said the N-word to a black person on Fortnite. Bye.